Alright folks, so this was posted on World of Tanks Twitter page, but let's zoom in. A new tech tree was added to the super test. This time it will be a Chinese heavy tank line with a choice of 2 guns and a new jet booster mechanic. The premium tier 8 will be the BZ-176, so kinda made up, with a 160mm derp gun. Expect your opponents to laugh at you if you miss the shell or it doesn't even pin, hit your mantlet and deal 0 damage, but it kinda looks like a Type 85's turret. A little bit. It doesn't have the cleft like the Type 96, but fairly modern, so high explosive shell is high damaging but only 75mm of pin, so 1100 alpha. Technically you can high roll and just one shot a Rheinmetall Borsig, a Scorpion G, or SU-130 PM. Gold shell is 225mm of pin for gold. High explosive, has less alpha, but 225mm of pin is still average for a tier 8 normal shell, so we'll have to see the actual shell velocity and the soft stats, but for now, it's a big alpha gun. Has 25 seconds of reload, 3 seconds of aim time, 0.4 accuracy. Actually not half bad, considering it's better than the Caliban. So Caliban has about baseline 180mm of pin, but same alpha, garbage accuracy, garbage aim time, like 0.5 accuracy or 5.5, and like 4 seconds of aim time, so it's already better than the Caliban. 11 degrees of gun depression, 20 elevation, pretty decent. 30 rounds. It has a jet boosting mechanic for the baseline 10.5 horsepower per ton ratio. It boosts up to 21. Top speed boosts up to 39, but there's no reverse speed, so you always boost forwards. You cannot boost backwards out of a position. All traverse, turret traverse, like a slow medium tank-ish, heavy medium tank, so not half bad. 4 charges of the boost. Boost duration is 10 seconds. Recharge time is 5. It's kind of like an autoloader, right? I don't know if you get the recharge of the whole thing, so like a 60 seconds reload of the 4 charges, but for now it looks like you only get 4 charges total. So it's like smoke grenade rounds, you only get 4 rounds and that's it. But you do get a boost for 10 seconds, helping you get into position or getting out of position, but the intershell reload time for the charge is 5 seconds. That's what I'm believing to be for the boosting, so there's no full recharge of the 4 rounds of the boost. So you have to make do with 4 charges, I guess, but that seems okay. I mean, it's not as fun as having unlimited charges with a reload, but hey, whatever. 1,550 health average for tier 8 heavy, 240 for the hull front, 250 for the hull front too. Wow, that is pretty thick, and I cannot see the commander cupola, so there might not be a weak spot. Pretty toxic, super thick. Side armor is 152. Oh god. I think it's only 152 above the tracks, but hell, if it's 152 behind the tracks, that's better than the KV4. KV4 is 150, and the IS4 is 160 or something, but that is pretty thick. View range 380, radio standard. 600 is a little below average, but whatever. There is a downside though. It doesn't have a loader for some reason. What? It only has a radio operator, so you're not trained in intuition or safe stowage. So you have to train that skill for the radio operator, I think. But yeah, initial baseline stats without the in-game garage screenshots. So for now, we have to see the armor. This thing might be toxic, especially with gold shell sync. Oh god. Alright, this is the tech tree, starting off from the Type 58 into the BZ-58 into the BZ-166, 68, and 75, but I think these are all made up. I mean, convince me otherwise, but these are likely like the tank destroyers. Pull out of Wargaming's ass. Super made up. What the hell are these things? It looks fairly modern though, but I guess that's a plus. Let's take a look at the jet booster mechanic. Alright, give me a split second, alright? So, Commander Cupola is small. There is no weak spot for the driver hatch or whatsoever on the front. It's 250 for the turret front and 240 for the hull front. That is fairly modern of a tank to be at tier 8. I mean, it's fairly modern to be at tier 10 too, but this is at tier 8. What the hell? Against a KV4. Yeah, of course. Also, the charge time should be only 10 seconds. Why the hell does it get like 14 or something? What the hell? Yeah, 13, 14. So it should only be 10, right? Also, there's a number of counter for the booster right here. That's a -1. So obviously a developer is testing it, but it looks like only getting a set number of charges. So there's no reload. Unless there's a small reload bar for it, but okay. Yeah, it's about 13 seconds, 14-ish. So this number may be a preliminary number, so arbitrary, but Commander Cupola looks small. It is still a weak spot technically, but with 29 seconds of 29 degrees per second turret traverse and hull traverse, you can just wiggle around and throw off the shots. Also, side of the turret is still pretty thick. Side of the hull is still pretty thick. It has a derp gun. That's the only downside, but you can fire a gold shell out of it to compensate for the lack of penetration. So then again, 225mm pen doesn't do well against, you know, other heavy tanks, but it's still high explosive, so it still deals with splash damage. Okay, so there you go, folks. I have to buy back the Type 58 now. It doesn't have freaking gun depression. God damn it. This thing is like on steroids or Viagra all the time. It has like only like freaking 3 degrees of gun depression. It's, oh god. How much gun depression do you have? I totally forget. Let's preview this thing. Oh god. God. It's been a while since I played with this vehicle. It has only 5 degrees of gun depression. Oh, it's not that great. Oh god. But buy back this vehicle to train up for the new heavy tank line. We haven't seen a derp gun tech tree in a while, like a whole vehicle line based on derp guns, but that was all the way back for Japanese heavy tanks, I think, and high explosive got nerfed into the ground. So hitting a matlet, hitting a space armor screen, you deal 0 damage. Even with splash, that's 0 damage, which is utterly stupid, but hey, what the hell do I know? So BZ-176. Oh god. Thick armor. The only downside is somewhat slow, so unless you count it into the booster thing. What if you ram somebody with the booster? That's also a big deal, right? Because you have 240 hull front. That'll be fun. If you manage to not hit, or just deal like only 200 damage with the derp gun, technically you could just boost and ram into the opponent, dealing some damage with the strong hull front. Oh, well, that's not half bad when you think about it. Also, this thing is a monster in terms of face-hugging brawls. because it has so much thick armor at the front. And the hull traverse is not half bad to go, you know, competing in terms of brawling with another heavy tank. I mean, technically you'll be slow against a medium, but still, you'll deal a lot of damage against a medium tank. Especially towards Waffentriggers and Raumentel Borsigs and SU-130 PMs and Scorpion Gs. Or also the ship TVP-100 maybe, but still, that's... Well, there you go, folks. We have to look forward towards the developer diaries on the Chinese made-up derp gun heavy tanks. Also looks like 2 split tracks for one side of the vehicle. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't think you can see it in the actual video, but 3 holes for the vent deck. A bunch of booster for the back of the vehicle. Why can't we just use the booster as a, I don't know, rocket launcher or something? We cannot have rocket launchers. It's too good. So obviously the reload is a little bit better because of the 100% crew. So that also goes for the engine power. Also goes for the accuracy and aim time. So it's not half bad soft stats or on paper soft stats for the accuracy and aim time. But we have to check out the shell velocity as well as the dispersion factors. So yeah, the Caliban's garbage shell velocity is what kills it for me, but it's so slow. The shell velocity on that thing is barely faster than Mach 1 or speed of sound. God, it's so bad. Yeah, it looks okay on paper. 850 alpha accuracy is crap. Aim time is also kind of crap. The only big downside with this shell is the shell velocity is garbage. The speed of sound is 343 meters per second. This is barely faster than Mach 1, so barely. That's a slow shell velocity. That is pretty bad, but guess we'll have to wait and see how good this thing is. Rocket boosters. I am speed. Attach the rocket booster to something like a Crusader or something. That would be much better. To attach it to a light tank, you'll boost even harder. Oh hell. Attach it to the EBR. Oh, there you go, folks. Quick preview and reaction to new stuff. And this should be available. The new heavy tank line for the Chinese should be available January 2023. So likely right after holiday ops, I think. But okay, get back your Type 58 and start grinding. Also, since we're currently on season 9 of Battle Pass, set all the training manuals and booklets for the Chinese and prepare your crew for the Chinese heavy tanks, I guess. Or if you're not doing for the Italian tank destroyers, but God, the new hotness is pretty hot. The old crap is garbage now. Well, there you go, folks. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.